Hello, SVIVAH friends. My name is Aliza Sperling, and I'm the Director of Education at SVIVAH. It is now the 17th of May, also the first day of the Jewish month of, and on the sixth day of the Jewish month of, we will celebrate Shavuot. So that's coming up this Thursday night. Shavuot commemorates the giving of the Torah, and the giving of the Torah is presented in the Torah itself as an overwhelming experience. The people are surrounding Mount Sinai, and there is lightning and fire and earthquakes and deafening sound. And of course, that's how it should be because God is descending somehow onto the mountain and giving the Torah to the Jewish people. So it's an overwhelming cacophony of sounds and physical experiences. The people are so scared, they run to Moses and they say, "Please let this stop. You get the Torah, and then you just communicate it to us because we can't handle this." But the Midrash actually tells us a different version of this story. And I'm going to share my screen with you and show you what it says. This is from Psikta Durav Kahana, a 5th century rabbinic work. And it says, Rabbi Levi said, the Holy One appeared to them on Mount Sinai as a statue with faces on every side. If 1,000 people were looking at it, they would experience it as if it would be looking at each of them. So it is with the Holy One, blessed be the Eternal. When God spoke, each and every person of Israel said, the divine is speaking with me. And that is why it is written, I am the Lord your God, with your not being in the plural. This works better in Hebrew than in English. It doesn't say Anochi Hashem Elokechem in the plural, but it says Anochi Hashem Elokecha. I am your individual God. So the first thing that Midrash tells us is that everyone at Mount Sinai had their own experience as if God was looking at them and giving the Torah to them. But then it goes a little bit further, and it says, Rabbi Yossi Bar Chanina said, it was according to the capacity of each and every person that the divine word spoke with him. And do not be surprised at this thing, since we find in the case of the manna, the man that fell from heaven, that when it came down to Israel, each one of them savored it according to his capacity. The infants according to their capacity, the young men according to their capacity, the old men according to their capacity, the infants according to their capacity, and the young men according to their capacity, as it is stated, the food that I have given you, the choice flour, the oil, and the honey which I had provided for you to eat. And so it goes through all the different proof texts that everybody saw the divine revelation with their own capacity, lefi kocho. Just like with the man, with the manna from heaven, when everyone's mouth tasted it according to their own capacity. Likewise, did everyone hear the divine word according to their capacity. David said, the voice of the Lord is in strength. In his strength, it is not written here, but in strength, according to the strength of each person. According to this Midrash, we were all at Mount Sinai, but each one of us had a different experience in Mount Sinai. We all tasted the Torah. We all experienced the Torah that we got according to who we are, right? And that's the way that we can only experience the world is according to the how we are. This is a really interesting idea that the way that you experience the Torah is very different from the way that I experience the Torah. But our source here, the Midrash, is not saying that one of us experiences it better than the other one. It's just that we experience it differently based on who we are. Just like tastes are different, so too our experience of the Torah is different. And to me, that means, and to us at SVIVAH, that means that I can only, if I am alone, I can only experience the Torah in one way. What I need is the rest of you, every other person, telling me how they experience Torah, because I would never know it if you wouldn't tell me. And it's just as valid as the way that I experience Torah. So we each need each other in order to get that facet of God and the facet of Torah that we are missing because we're only seeing it with our own eyes or our own taste. And so this Shavuot, in order to prepare for Shavuot, we are going to study the Book of Ruth together. The Book of Ruth has 4 chapters, and we've got 4 days until Shavuot. What we're going to do is post a video about each chapter. So tomorrow we'll do chapter 1, and we're going to ask you a question based on chapter 1, and ask you to please answer that question in this WhatsApp group so that we can all learn from you, so that the Torah that you see will enhance the Torah that the rest of us see. Um, and now I want to ask you a question to start us off. And that is, has there ever been a time when someone else has experienced or told you about an experience of Torah that they had that have enhanced or changed the way that you thought about Torah or that you thought about God? Or have you ever said something or impacted somebody else so that they have a different understanding or an additional understanding of Torah and of God? I look forward to reading your answers.